What? So this happened. I'm Rachel Velis, and this is the podcast Hell is Not the End. Although it feels like just the beginning sometimes. Is anything really the end, though? This podcast is meant to explore the limitless possibilities of one's own soul. Why do people do bad things? Why are there countless happenings beyond understanding? Why, when we are cautioned not to do something, do we just do it anyway? The definition of curiosity, a strong desire to know or learn something. There you have it. I will curiously explore why. Hell is not the end. So, I want to welcome my two special guests today. Brown, again, my repeat offender.
Hello.
Hey, Brown.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah. You got to be louder. Okay.
Hello.
There you go. Well, now you probably blew out AJ's ear, so. And my buddy Kyle.
How you doing?
Hello.
How you doing?
He's new here. I knew. He's my phone a friend, so.
He's new in more ways than one.
Because this episode's gonna be a big one. So.
Yeah. Totally. Whew. So this episode is about AGARTHA.
Mm-hmm.
Do explain.
So today we're gonna be diving deep into the earth for this one. Deep into some crazy conspiracies. And we're really gonna...
I feel like you said that with a list. Conspiracy.
By the end of this episode, you're going to be wearing a tinfoil hat, hands down. You're going to be digging for the hollow earth. Trust me.
We shall see.
You'll be a firm believer by the time I'm done. So, yeah.
Well, we shall see. So, what made you want to come on and talk about AGARTHA?
Probably my deep belief. It's really a lifestyle at this point of the hollow earth. And
lifestyle?
I've devoted my life to it at this point. I've made several expeditions to both the North and South Pole to the east, trying to find the secret hidden caves that lead to the underground world that is AGARTHA, or the worlds, or it's a lot.
Traveling, like through your brain, or like you're talking about actually going?
Oh, I physically went to North and South Pole looking for the big 6,000 mile wide holes that are allegedly there. So.
And you, Kyle, has this happened to you as well?
Well, I've been to Italy one time, and I went to catacombs. There were stairs down. I didn't get to follow them. So
okay, way to contribute.
Those definitely led to AGARTHA.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So I have a very, very long list of notes here and a lot of material to go over.
Good.
So I feel like we should just dive right in.
I dive right in because I'm very curious as to how you're going to try and convince everybody that this is a thing.
So I'm gonna go over a few points here, and at first you're gonna call me crazy. By the end of this episode,
you're already crazy, Brown.
By the end of this episode, you're gonna be a firm believer too.
Okay.
So the Earth is hollow. That is a fact. We've proven it already. If you don't believe it, you're crazy. There are
So you're gonna convince us that you are correct, but you straight up insult us already.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah. So there are small cavities or big ones. That lead to the hollow earth. And some people think that the hollow earth is just a few small cavities, or it's completely hollow and it's just we're just inside of a big shell, like a big Easter egg that's just hollow.
Where does this belief come from? Like, you said that people just believe this. How do you know this?
This comes from ancient legends and alleged scientists who have proclaimed these facts. Facts. Also,
facts in quotations, people.
Yeah.
He says that I'm going to believe this stuff, and yet he's still making me doubt.
Other facts about the hollow earth, that there are an internal sun, or suns, multiple, that somehow set. However that works.
There's multiple suns that set in hollow earth?
Yeah, inside the earth. There's suns. Like the thing you see up in the sky, it's really small. I mean, you can probably grab it with your fingers. I mean, I'm sure it can fit inside the earth. The biggest theory of how to get inside the hollow earth, AGARTHA, is the polar holes. There are holes on each of the poles, not all of them, each of the poles, that are very large, hard to miss. You can't miss them. you can just walk straight into them, and you're in Agartha, and you'll be greeted by the emissaries, the Agarthans, the extraterrestrials, super advanced, technologically advanced, intelligent race who live there.
And this is from your experience?
Yeah, it's my personal experience. I met them. Them once.
Do elaborate.
I may or may not have been on some hardcore hallucinogenics, but we won't talk about that. DMT, shrooms, heroin.
Oh, the DMT.
Yeah. Anyway, so the inhabitants vary from aliens to ant people to mole people to
Snake
people. Then all of them are intelligent.
They all sound like legit people.
Oh no, they are. They're all. I met them all.
I met a woman that looks like a mole one time.
And even John Quincy Adams, President of the United States of America, approved of an expedition and believed all of this was real. And even in 1869, a cult was formed around this whole belief.
Excuse me?
So, 1869, there's a cult that was formed around these beliefs, and they were, it was crazy. So
what did they do? Did they like hang out there? Like,
I
how do you become a cult?
I assume they just went to their local community center and just kind of drew pictures and they talked about it.
Oh my god, you're just making this up. I thought you had facts.
I'm gonna get into more details.
Okay.
I have certain of my bullet points have a lot of details. Some of them don't.
Oh, okay.
I cut some down
That
for time.
one,
the less
okay.
interesting ones I cut down for time. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
So, and there are people.
So a cult's not interesting to you.
That's what I was saying. I was like,
Seriously.
So I'll start in ancient lore.
Okay, go.
I'll start in ancient lore. So, where is that on my thing?
Yeah, and Kyle, please feel free to chime in when you think that.
oh, this is crazy to me.
Yeah,
I'm having a hard time understanding what he's talking about because I've been on the hallucinogenic drugs too, but nothing like this. I think he's taking like 4 times what I do, so he needs help.
I took.
Don't we all?
So I don't know if this is the oldest account or where, but this is where I'm going to start. So in Tibetan legend, Shambhala or Shangri-La, you've probably heard of it. Good Three Dog Night song about it. It's an oasis song with godlike beings who live there, and they inhabit the place. And that's really all we know. It's very ancient legend, so we don't know a whole lot about that. But they say that godlike beings live there. Don't know if they're human or extraterrestrials. They're there. They're vibing. Hindu legend.
They're vibing. Okay.
They're vibing. Hindu legend states that Agartha is the land of Aryans, or the land of the noble ones, which later the Nazis, that's what got them interested in this whole search for Agartha and the Hollow Earth. And because they're like, oh, yes, it's Aryans. Very nice. Anyway.
Dude, I was not prepared to hear any kind of accent.
Yeah. I don't know if this is where the term Agartha was coined, but it was stated there.
Yeah, that's kind of my question too, because I wonder where they got this name from.
I don't know where the word Agartha, the name Agartha came from, but it was stated in the Hindu legends, I believe.
Because, like, seriously, I feel like there's no real origin story here.
Mm-hmm. And little side tangent, my personal theory here. So during World War II, the Nazis sent fleets of ships, like full expeditions to the, I believe, South Pole or North, one of the 2 poles, and they set up bunkers there.
One of the 2 poles. It's kind of a big deal.
I don't remember which one.
Probably the one's closer, the South Pole.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe it was middle pole. I don't know.
But they even set up like large bunkers, and they were doing some stuff down there. To this day we don't know exactly what they were doing down there. I believe it was South Pole. Now that I think about it, but diving into this topic, I believe that they were searching for Agartha, and maybe they found it, and they didn't tell anyone. That's where they all went. That's where Hitler is right now. Actually, they say Hitler killed himself. That was a body double. He's actually in the Hollow Earth with the lizard people and the mole people and the ant people. He's down there right now. He's a godlike being.
AJ's question is,
so he's still alive?
Oh yeah, because he got yes. I'll dive into.
Are you sure you're not getting Agartha mixed up with Argentina?
Yeah. Anyway, that's my little Nazi tangent. Hindu text also states that there were a race of subterranean serpent people who waged war on Agartha.
Wait, are these serpent people different than snake people?
They are the snake people I was referring to earlier.
Are these like the serpent people in Ninjago?
Yes, actually. They're like half people, half cobra kind of looking. They're called the Naga from Nagalaka.
And then they became Legos later.
Yeah. That's what Ninjago is inspired by Agartha. Yeah. They were called the Naga from Nagalaka, and they were kind of...
Naga from Nagalaka.
Yeah, right. And they would abduct and eat people, and they were mean. We don't like them.
That's rude.
Yeah, right. So, and if you think all of this is crazy, you think why haven't we discovered any of
It
this?
sounds stupid so far.
Yeah. The reason we haven't found the polar holes and found all these people is because you have to be pure of heart to find Shambhala,
Well, now we're all
Nagalaka, Agartha, whatever you want to call it.
Well, if you have to be pure of heart, and you said something about Hitler, does that
Shamalama
make
ding
Hitler
dong.
pure of heart
Shamalama
before
ding
he
dong.
did?
No, he dug.
Oh, he dug.
Yeah. There may be some discrepancies in the story, but just ignore those. Just like how we ignore facts. So,
That's true. True that.
Well, we know you do.
So if you ever think, wow, that's crazy, we should have found it. No, you're not pure of heart. That's why I haven't found it. You science believing heathens. So that's kind of the legend, the religious historical side, the oldest accounts we can find. Western origins in more recent times. 1692, renowned astronomer Edmund Halley.
How's it spelled?
Halley. It was Halley.
Halley.
Okay. Edmund Halley. He
Sounds
has
like Haley, but you know, whatever.
I know it sounds like Haley, but apparently it's Halley. Has a comet named after him.
That's Haley.
It's Haley's Comet.
It's Haley's
It's
Comet.
Haley's Comet.
Okay, Haley, whatever you want to call it. Edmund Halley has
Moving
a comet
on.
named after him.
Scientist.
He proposed that the magnetic poles are not fixed to the surface, but fixed to an independent subsphere inside the Earth, and said that there was as much as 3 different subspheres inside of Earth right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So, right off the bat, these highly intellectual people are given straight facts.
Well, so if that's true, what are the 3?
There's 3 of them. That's
What
all.
were you going to say, Kyle?
Well, I mean, he's an astronomer, so how could he be wrong?
Yeah, he looks at the stars. He must be right about the Earth.
Well, since I have no backup of what those sub situations are, I mean, like...
All we know is that there's as much as 3 Earths inside of the one we're on now.
It's like Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, Agartha.
And the magnetic field,
Okay,
the
that's
magnetic
acceptable.
poles aren't attached to the surface that we live on, but attached to one of these 3 subspheres inside the Earth. So it's like a planet. It's like a Russian nesting doll.
I have one of those.
Okay.
Intellectuals, in quotation marks, in the mid-18th century proposed that it had 2, not 1, but 2 inner suns inside of the planet.
Like Tatooine?
Yes,
Ooh.
but inside of the planet.
Interesting.
Not outside, not millions and millions and millions of miles away from the planet, but inside of our own.
Right.
So, and they set? So, they somehow find like some other astral body to hide behind?
The Star Wars universe is inside this Earth crust.
Yeah. It's not a galaxy far, far away. It's right under our feet.
Well, they say it's far, far away because we can't get under the crust.
It's far, far away, deep beneath us.
All I can say to that is, okay.
So the people who are inside the Earth, it must be a little toasty down there.
I would think so.
So
But it's hollow, though.
It's global cooling
it's
down
hollow.
there.
Yeah. So
warming my ass.
so people, so we've dug like 8 miles deep into the Earth. In real life, this is a fact. We've dug. That's as deep as we got, and the only reason we had to stop digging is because it got too hot.
Who's we?
I think the Russians.
America.
No, I think it was actually the Russians. I don't know. I just know that there's an 8 mile deep hole
Agarthians.
somewhere, and they had to stop digging because it got too hot and the pressure was too intense. Maybe that's because we got too close to the suns.
Oh.
And apparently they named them like Pluto and something else, even though Pluto's the moon. It's stupid. Anyway, so we're getting deep into the fact. This
should
is
be reinstated as a planet. Go.
I agree. They did Pluto dirty. So, here comes the key player.
Oh no.
November 5th, 1780. John Cleves Sims, the godfather of modern hollow earth theory, is born. What a nut. He introduced the theory of polar openings, which is the most commonly widely accepted theory of how we get to the hollow earth today. He states that the polar openings are about 6,000 miles wide. 6,000 miles. From the surface of the Earth to the core is about 4,000 miles. So these polar openings are a little wide, just a little bit. Hard to miss. They're hard to miss. And the reason we can't
These
see them.
statistics aren't really making any sense.
Yeah.
Well,
adding
you want to know
up.
why you haven't found them yet? Because you're not pure of heart. That's why you can't see them.
Yeah.
You're a heathen.
I really doubt this other person was pure of heart.
That's the North and South Pole.
Well,
They're not.
Where does Santa Claus go?
Maybe
To
that's-
to Agartha.
To Agartha.
Yeah, that's where he
He's
lives.
in Garson. Oh.
The North, the South, the North Pole.
It
Yeah, he
makes
lives in the
sense.
North Pole.
There would be like plenty of room there.
The North Pole. It's just a big ice plug. It just sits on the hole. That's what.
What was that noise again?
It's it's like a big cork. These 6,000
You
miles.
sounded like one of those male like suction things.
Yeah. Anyway, they just kind of sit there, and that's big corks. That's my personal theory. Anyway,
It's your personal theory? That is so weird because you said like his theory and like you believe all this stuff. So it's really weird that you're like, oh,
100%
his theory.
wholeheartedly.
That's not right.
He also states that the Earth is like a Russian nesting doll, and that there are not 3, 5 smaller and smaller Earths inside one of another. 5 of them. So they're all spinning independently of each other. They're all just kind of floating there. Okay.
How do they get there? How did they become the smaller Earths inside of each other? Yeah.
Yeah, he just asked that.
Magic. You may be asking
Like Harry
yourself,
Potter.
what credibility does this man have?
That's what he just asked.
What credibility does he have? Well, let me tell you. If I can find where I put this in Windows. Just for context, I have a wall of text ahead of me, and I keep looking away from my notes, and I have to re-find it. He was self-educated, reading any scientific text he could get his hands on. 1780s scientific text, mind you. So these are very factual, very well backed up, highly. These are very good. Yeah, back when the bloodletting was a very practiced
Art.
Yeah,
It's an art.
it's an art.
And art is generous.
So this guy, obviously very well acclaimed. He's a genius. He's a genius.
Which because he said so?
Yeah, because he said so. He proposed an expedition to the southern hemisphere to map out trade routes with, in some sources, mole people. He proposed this to Congress, and Congress voted 56-46 not to spend the money on the expedition. So roughly 44% of Congress said, "Yeah, let's go make trade routes." With
Yeah,
mole
well,
people.
Kyle already said that he dated someone who looked like a mole. He would know this better than you.
No, this is true. Like, that girl's ancestors, they were the
they come
people.
from the Earth?
They
She
came from
identified as a mole,
No,
right?
she was a mole. At least she looked like one. Hell, she had a few moles.
Why would you even ask that?
But yeah, roughly 44% of Congress at the time approved of creating trade routes with mole people.
Our United States Congress.
The United States Congress.
This
in
is
the
so made up.
In about 1800.
This is so made up.
This is what Wikipedia says. So Our president at the time, John Quincy Adams, he actually did approve of this, of the fund. He approved the funding of this expedition. However, he did not win the second term of his presidency, so the expedition did not take place.
I wonder if they
John Quincy
thought
Adams
he
was such a visionary.
crazy or something.
I thought he had 2 terms as president.
No, he only got one.
No, he had
Oh,
one.
really?
So if he got a second one, there would have been an expedition there. I mean, there were expeditions.
This
however,
is way before your time.
this is before your time.
For us.
This only 2001 kids don't understand. Yeah, and then in 1864, Jules Verne published the book Journey to the Center of the Earth, as many people probably have heard of that one, maybe read it or seen the movie. Good movie, good book. And this fires up tons of belief, this really fires up the whole belief around Hollow Earth in common society. Like this at the time.
You're saying that the book, and not just the movie, but the book sparked weird interest in it.
At the time, there was a lot of interest, but the book really kind of fired it up because the book was wildly popular, and it really fired up. A lot of people took it as fact and as a documentary.
Jules Verne is quite the gem. Mm-hmm. He was such a great writer.
He honestly made the most interesting stories sound so boring. Reading the book, it'll put you to
Don't get me
sleep.
wrong. It's kind of a dry read, but the thing is, he had some great ideas. Mm-hmm. Just it made you think.
Well, they should have state ideas.
Maybe. It's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong.
So, I don't know what year this is, but it's a little bit after this. It's probably still in the 1800s. A man named Cyrus Teed, an alchemist, had an accident during one of his
alchemist, big difference.
Alchemist had an accident during an experiment. He accidentally shocked himself with a dangerous amount of electricity.
Whoops.
And he was knocked unconscious for a while. While he was knocked unconscious, this is all pure facts, not made up at all. While he was unconscious, he was visited by extraterrestrials living inside the Hollow Earth who told him that he is the Messiah. And that
what now?
He's the Messiah. Cyrus Teed, he's the Messiah.
Wow, so he was just electrocuted?
He woke up.
And he's now the Messiah?
And he started preaching that he's the Messiah and that the earth is hollow and that there are intelligent beings living in AGARTHA who are beckoning him to come meet him in AGARTHA. And he gains a following, a massive following. And let's see.
I forgot.
He starts and I'm sorry. I know it's maybe a lot of information.
He is so overwhelmed. Brown, breathe. Go.
Yeah, you need to chill out.
He gains this huge following, and later he says that once he dies, he'll come back in 3 days, just like Jesus did. He dies, never came back. However, the following still stayed strong, and the cult stayed alive for quite a long time, and they were searching for so long for the Hollow Earth.
He shouldn't have just gone with 3 days. He should have gone with something else.
And you would think that when people go to at this time, there hadn't been really any expeditions to
Did he
the North or
sacrifice
South
himself too? Or
No, he just died straight up, like a heart attack, I think.
The deathbed.
Wow, that's very inspiring.
Yeah, I know. And people, okay, you think flat earthers, anti-vaxxers, all these people who are crazy, you think they blatantly don't just throw away the facts and don't believe in that? Hollow earthers take the cake. Literally every aspect of their belief tells them, no, you're crazy. They just go, no, it's hollow. It's hollow. In 1926, a man named Richard Byrd claims to have made the first airplane trip over the North Pole, which it might have been because there were at the time, and there still hasn't been any recorded trips over the North Pole before that time. So it might have been the first one. He won a medal for it. Didn't find any holes. He didn't report finding any holes.
Wow, I love your fact. Base background there.
Yeah. He didn't find any holes. You'd think a 6,000 mile wide hole would be easy spot. Apparently not. But he just wasn't pure of heart. So.
Oh my God! I'm gonna punch you in the face. Stop saying that.
1929, he also flew over the South Pole because the North Pole, he didn't see it. I guess they were wrong. It was over this. There was a 6,000 mile wide hole over the South Pole. He just went to the wrong hole. So he's gonna go to this one and find it.
He went to the wrong hole.
Yeah.
The wrong 6,000 mile hole.
Yeah, 6,000 mile wide. You think no?
Just missed it.
Just barely missed it.
Just missed it.
However, in 1929, he flew over the South Pole. This expedition, he still didn't find anything. There were no holes discovered.
Oh, damn.
Thank you for clarifying.
However, here's where the interesting stuff comes in. In recent history, I don't know how recent, it only said recent history, after Richard's death, conspiracies have popped up that there were a secret diary that Richard kept during the flights that claimed that he had he'd found large patches of habitable green land with mammoths and other life that he'd seen, like a big patch of just like it was warm and an oasis of on the surface in the North and South Pole.
Well, okay, so where are these secret diaries? They're at a museum, right? Because if it's truth, they're on display, right?
They got burnt up and
we don't know. We don't know.
Are they secret because they're non-existent?
I don't know where they are, and apparently they don't know where they came from. Somebody found them.
If that's such a big,
Sounds like the Book of Mormon.
well, if that's such a big discovery, why didn't he show hey, this is what I saw. Why don't you come with me on a second discovery and see it for yourself? Because this is so awesome.
Because the men in black approached him and told him not to tell anybody about his discoveries. So that's why the book was mysteriously found after his death.
Is this recorded?
Not the Men in Black.
And also stated in his diary, he not only did he find these large 6,000 mile wide holes, but he flew into them and was greeted by Agarthans. He met the king and queen of Agartha, and they sent him on his way.
What were their names?
Queen Elizabeth and King James. They're just British.
King Bach.
Lily Pons and King
King John Quincy Adams.
Yeah, so that's as he flew in, he was greeted by flying ships that they just it's crazy. There was these technologically advanced peoples. It's like what? I don't know what it's.
You're making Kyle yawn.
Hey, it's not his fault.
It's so crazy. It's so
I would say
crazy.
it's his.
No, it's his fault.
He's a little boring.
Yeah.
Very, not
Later on, after that, this is later. Before that, in the 40s, in the 30s and 40s, the hollow earth theory found a lot of support in Nazi Germany in the late 30s and early 40s. So the Nazis were like, oh yes, it's very hollow, it's an intelligent life. We need to go down there and find the advanced technology to get the upper hand on the Americans.
Oh my God, that accent's awful.
I know, that's why.
That's why it's perfect.
It's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
totally.
So I assume they wanted to get an upper hand on the Russians and the Americans and get a bigger nuke. And I don't know what they were thinking, but
Did you say a bigger nuke?
yeah, we definitely need to do an episode on the Nazis and their crazy beliefs because boy,
Dude, I love how you always throw out your next episode and then you wait forever to get back here.
okay.
Well, that's how you get the most followers. You just keep edging them and tugging them.
So
You gotta be quicker than that.
so
All state.
as modern science kind of evolved since then, literally every single scrap of evidence we have points to the fact that the Earth is not hollow. It's not hollow, and a lot of the
Is it
believers.
flat?
It's flat.
It is flat though.
No,
it
it's
is flat.
flat.
It's not hollow though.
Can't
It's-
prove me wrong.
The belief and the cult kind of died down quite a bit. The cult's pretty much gone. The belief, it's still around, and I'll get into that, but it's kind of died down. It does thrive to this day, and there are people known as light workers, also known as crystal babies, indigos, or star seeds.
Aren't those just derogatory terms?
They sound,
I've heard
these people,
light workers,
these people are telepathically enlightened, and they can communicate with the inhabitants of the hollow earth.
Derogatory terms for white people.
Really, you just sound like you're just...
Crystal baby.
A crystal baby is just a baby that's born off of meth.
New Mexico babies. And these people believe. So these light workers, they're people who are attracted to the supernatural, and they can communicate with the inhabitants of the inner earth. And they believe that the inner earth is a living creature that has a heartbeat. And the closer you get to Mother Earth's heartbeat, the more enlightened you become and the more godlike you will be.
Oh my God, breathe.
So that's where Hitler is right now.
He's a crystal baby.
He's... I also...
Crystal baby, all right.
And to finish off...
He's more like his mom was alcoholic, and she,
And I moved
pregnant with him.
I moved through these pretty fast. And to finish off... What I have of this, I have a YouTube link I'd like AJ to play, or I can play it. Whoever wants to play it.
Play it and then I'll edit it in.
Okay. This I'm just gonna play a short clip. This video is titled. What was it titled?
The truth is that how. It's an ad.
Yeah, inner Earth civilizations exist, and I can prove it.
It's believable.
Published by Universe Inside You is the name of this YouTube channel.
How many subs?
1.58 million
Are you
subscribers.
serious?
1.2 million views,
yeah.
60,000 likes, 1.6 dislikes. 1.6 thousand dislikes. 1.6 thousand dislikes.
That sounds very fake.
This is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
No. Sorry, hold on. I'm having some technical difficulties here.
Talk about technical difficulties.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna play this for everybody.
Fact. They support a theory about Earth that some of the most celebrated geologists and astronomers have believed. That Earth is a spherical, spacious planetary body with enormous, continent-sized caverns deep within it, and large entrances miles across at the North and South Pole. They say inner Earth has water, oceans, and luminosity, and that it sustains not only plants and animals, but intelligent life. If this sounds like heresy, lay aside what you think you know,
Heresy.
and we'll show you the evidence, the scientists, the legends, and testimonies behind the inner Earth theory.
If this sounds like heresy, we'll prove it to you. Oh my God.
It sounds like you, Brown, trying to
Yeah, that
convince
sounds-
me.
Do you not believe that the hollow earth exists? Do you think we live on a solid rock right now? You're a fool if you do. You're a fool. After all the evidence I just laid before you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm sweating. I'm panting.
Oh my God. If you guys can see the look on Brown's face right now, he is so worked up and he's so excited to share this with us. And he's very disappointed in our faces that we don't believe.
I preach this. I have a traveling show. You can see me on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at your local pubs. I'll keep in touch.
Oh man.
So lay aside what you think you know about religions and God. This is the truth. This
oh my
is
God.
the truth.
Okay, so please, Kyle, chime in. Let's make sure that all our points are heard.
Yeah.
Not just the whack job that's been talking this whole time.
Oh man. So
So now that the PowerPoint is done,
Right. Now that
talk about
exactly
let's just have fun.
PowerPoint. Yeah, so please chime in.
So like Bryce said, Brown, my bad. It might have started with religion. I think this is just a crazy religion that just turned into a cult real quick, real fast. It apparently
Without explanation, it just kind of
it snowballed. But
Yeah.
it was like, that seems plausible right now. I mean, Earth's flat right now. so-
Literally, the only reason
There is flat right now.
the only reason this whole thing existed outside of like ancient religions is because some wackadoodle self-proclaimed scientist and astrologist alchemist who like crazy people just straight up just said and
Crazy
claimed
people.
they just said Earth is hollow, 6,000 mile wide holes, believe me. And everyone's like, I'm getting behind that guy.
Makes sense to me. Anyways, like you said, it seemed to start with Hinduism atop other religions. Which you at first you could probably see this like a branch religion, like you see like different types of Christianity or there's different types of Hinduism or whatever. But the Agartha, the hole, was seen as a holy place for the righteous, for the pure of heart, the best people in the world. Apparently, Hitler was one of them.
So he thought.
Sorry, Hitler dug, but he knew where it was.
That's what he thought.
Yeah. Oh, that's
I'm
why.
gonna get
That's
there.
why he.
Okay.
You cut that
You
one
might
out.
want to.
You already cut that one out. Oh
No,
shit.
keep it in.
But like most famous cults, the believers denied any scientific evidence against their claims and accusations, and so that's where they truly went downhill and snowballed.
So
Yeah.
what you're saying, like, are you saying that like this center Earth is like Nirvana?
Like the band?
No, not the no.
You're
yeah,
so
not like
funny.
That's where
Can you
Kurt Cobain
focus,
killed
Brown?
himself.
No, not like the band. The true state of like Hinduism,
The meaning
like,
of Nirvana.
higher existence of higher intelligence, true Nirvana.
If
Kurt Cobain lives in the Agartha. Confirmed.
No, actually, I feel like that's where that could be part of the religion. That could be a huge belief. There is.
Shut up, Brown.
That's where your soul actually goes to when you're trying to. What are they? It's not transformate, but they.
You're just saying transformate?
Yeah,
reincarnate.
Reincarnate. That's the word. I was gonna say reimburse each other.
AJ, he just said transformate. You're gonna let that go?
He said reimburse.
I said reimburse.
God, I don't like this. So can you just take take mine and reimburse me?
Let's just go with back with reincarnate.
Reincarnate. I feel like that could be a really big belief for them. But some people probably don't know where they believe. But with those who do, that could be a really like good grip on their understanding of the earth. Like there may not be holes, but that's the only way to get there is if you've been like the true good
If
soul.
you've been truly enlightened.
Yes, because there's also that portion of reincarnation where you don't reincarnate anymore. You are the pure soul. You're the perfect person, and you do just become this great like demigod or something. And the Hinduists believe.
So we're all screwed.
Oh, very. Okay. I definitely am. Because I'm not Hinduist. No, I think it's really funny. I love touching back on the Hitler point because apparently Hitler's down there, either Argentina or Agartha, one of the two.
No, he's in Agartha, and he dug his way to the heart of Mother Earth and became an immortal, godlike being.
But he didn't because he couldn't stand the heat. There's like apparently now 5 layers of Earth and like 2 suns down there.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is John Cleve Sims, the guy who proposed that there were 5 Earths inside the Earth, later on just went, that's crazy. There's no way there's 5 Earths. There's only one. And then he went around and started preaching that.
So it didn't matter. His followers believed what he said.
Yeah, because no, that's crazy. That's just
Right,
ridiculously
but
crazy.
his
You're stupid to
believers
believe that.
believed what they wanted to hear at the time. Like they believed what he said when he said it.
Yes.
Like as contradictory as he was. Great.
Well, no. Okay,
Great.
so when he was preaching at the time when he was preaching that there's 5, people were surprisingly people thought he was crazy.
It's like politics. You can change your answers whenever you want.
Exactly. And then he realized this is crazy. This is crazy.
That was
There's
the
only
ugliest laugh I've heard today.
I'm not sure we picked it up, so.
one. You want to do that again?
Oh,
we
I picked it up. Do it again.
Okay.
That's just
I'm coming for you.
yeah, that's just disturbing.
Yeah. All right.
Let's move past that laugh.
Yeah. So there's only one Earth. There's not 5. That's crazy. You're a heretic if you think that.
See, my true theory is, you guys ever played Halo? That's how the Earth is. It's the halo, where the land is on the inside of the Earth. It's on the inside of the crust.
Yeah,
that's another.
major
And the sun
theory.
is the sun is in the middle.
That is another major theory.
That's
that
how
it's
we
just-
are.
That it's just a shell, and people live on the inside crust. It's just a shell, and it's like an inverted Earth.
How does night happen?
We turn the sun off.
Did you see?
Yeah, no, yeah, we turn
the sun
just turn off the lights.
Yes,
you have a light switch in your room, don't you?
I was just gonna say
Stupid.
that you think there's like a clicker or is it like a clap?
It's a light switch.
All
It's like a
all the
clapper.
world leaders have the switch together, and they have it's like at the golf course. It's set up. It's a set up timer. So therefore, every 24 hours, every
Set
12.
up timer like
No,
the
they have a
golf
clapper.
course.
No, I like to believe they just
The whole community just claps.
Clap. Yeah, they all have to clap in synchronization. Come on, hey guys. I like the way the leader comes, the king of Agartha comes out. Let us commence. Oh, it's 8 o'clock on the dot because that's nighttime for them.
Yeah.
Everyone, he just raises his hands in the air and just.
Oh my
And then the
God,
lights
you
turn
guys
off.
can't even clap.
And then
the
there's
same.
that one dude who sleeps in, or he's like asleep early, and they're like, "Damn it, John, you forgot to clap. No lights on all night." It's like, "Oh, sorry guys, sorry."
All right,
My
I'm
bad.
gonna have to stop this right now because it's getting dumb.
Getting
So,
dumb.
But is there?
Been dumb.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Mm-hmm.
No, keep on going.
You want me to keep on going? Oh.
Keep going. All right.
Interesting.
All right. No,
It
because
is
I got.
not.
Oh,
They're
this,
just
okay.
getting
Well, this
dumb.
is funny. So,
Okay, I'm gonna let him talk while I go over there for a second.
What's your
So-
favorite yogurt?
okay, on a real. Okay,
It's mixed
on a
berry.
realistic
Mine's
note,
cookies and cream.
to give my personal
yogurt.
to give my personal opinion of this whole thing, I believe that it is possible that there are subterranean caverns that could harvest life and possibly even intelligent life. And there are massive caverns. I mean, not like continent-sized caverns, as this crystal baby has said to us, but I believe that there could be caverns, possibly intelligent life. I'm not saying there are, but there could be life under there, and there could be massive holes in the east because ancient peoples might have burrowed into the ground and found these holes, and that became part of their religion in this oasis. Because it's warm down there.
It is.
If anyone who's been splunking, who have gone in caves, I don't remember exactly what temperature it is, but there's an exact temperature that caves stay, and it's such a nice temperature. It's like, I don't remember.
72 degrees.
Yeah,
I don't
something.
know.
It's something like that where it's like it's not too hot, not too cold.
Stop making stuff
never
up,
too
Kyle.
humid, and it could be. It's so. And in bioluminosity, that's a real thing that exists. There could be bioluminescence in these massive caves. I am not denying any theory that there could be massive caverns with life in them, and that we have possibly gone to them, and that's what these ancient religions are built around. I do discredit the theory, however, that it is just one giant shell. And John Cleves Sims also said that the shell was about 810 miles thick, which is far too thin. The Earth would collapse in on itself instantly. And if it was that hollow, 70 degrees. Okay, Cobbs pulled it up. The caves are always 70 degrees, which is such a nice temperature inside of a cave. No wind, no nothing. It's so nice. Caves are so nice. I would love to live in a cave. Anyway, the Earth would collapse in on itself
I
if
think
it
you
was
will
hollow.
soon.
Plus, there wouldn't be enough mass. If the Earth was hollow, there would not be enough mass to keep us on. Gravity is directly related to the amount of mass a planetary body has.
Mm-hmm.
The more mass, the more gravity. The denser it is, the more gravity. So that's why neutron stars, they're like the size of a small city, but they're the density of an entire star, and they're in crazy gravity. But if the Earth was hollow, there wouldn't be enough gravity to keep anything on the surface. It would just be this gravityless husk floating around.
Yeah, so how do they explain that then? Like when you do the statistics like that?
Magic.
Do they have a wand?
Magic. It's Mother Earth. Magic heartbeat. It's magic.
Well, in science, you learn about centripetal force.
Calm down.
Centrifugal.
So no,
Centrifugal.
it's centripetal and centrifugal.
There's no P. It's centrifugal.
No, there's two different ones. You messing me up. The first one I
messing up
said.
words.
teach you down in Texas.
You're
No,
messing
I
up
learned
his
that here.
words.
I learned that here. It's the force that keeps you stuck to an object.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Centripetal.
Yeah.
And then centrifugal.
Centrifugal is what?
So centripetal
Way.
centripetal force is what happens underground that keeps you stuck to the crust. That's what the other Earth, the one that's under the AGARTHA, I sound like stupid right now, as I am. That gravity there is what's keeping you
You might
stuck.
be nervous too.
Oh, I'm very nervous.
Yeah, like
Breathe.
If
I can't.
if the Earth is just a shell and it's spinning,
Don't speak for him. He wasn't done.
are you done? Yes, cool. So if the Earth is a shell and it's hollow, and we live on the inside of it, like it's pretty much just an inverse Earth, and we could somehow ignore gravity, that could work. the centripetal force just pushing us out, like, or centrifugal actually. No, it would be as we spin, it'd be pulling us against the inside of the hollow earth.
Do you agree with anything that he's saying right this moment?
Just like if you take a bucket full of earth and you have it on a rope, or a bucket full of earth, a bucket full of water.
I don't want a bucket full of
If you
earth.
take a bucket full of
Sounds
water
heavy.
and attach it to a rope and spin in a circle, the water will stay in the bucket even though the bucket is completely horizontal to the, or is perpendicular to the ground. That's the centrifugal force holding the water to the inside of the bucket.
So do you think the Garden of Eden was Agartha?
Great question.
That is.
It's a great
it
question.
Could like I said earlier, I'm completely open to the possibility if there were caverns full of life and bioluminescence, and there would be water under there. It'd be full of minerals, and it could so easily habitate life. It would be a beautiful oasis.
The perfect oasis.
If Garden of Eden was Agartha, that would explain it. You made that. I don't know if that was a joke or not, but that was a really good point.
Oh my
actually.
God, AJ, you should see the look on AJ's face right now.
He's so smug. He's like, yeah.
Grinning ear to ear. I feel so smart.
I mean, that me being
Great
like
question.
a Christian, that even like, you know, piques my interest. Like, where is the Garden of Eden? And you know, in the Bible it does say God hid it, but where did He hide it?
Under the
Or
earth.
where was it originally? Is the question. Yeah. Because you could, I mean, being a God, you can make somebody forget, you know, one thing or another. You can remember where it's at, what it is, but you can't remember where it's at.
My favorite thing to do. So I am agnostic, which means I don't completely discredit religion. But whenever science says religion is false, I stick to the side of science. However, my favorite thing
That
to do
explains a lot.
is to use.
Weak, then.
My favorite thing to do is to use science to prove religion. Is whenever science there is some sort of evidence that could prove religion is true, or that any sort of evidence that points to this, that, or the other, saying the Bible is true, I am all for that, and I love that. So I do like that point you brought up about the Garden of Eden.
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I have the mic now.
It's your turn to speak, Kyle.
Woo! Can we get a woo woo for the people in the back of the crowd, please?
But
Sorry.
yeah, so I don't necessarily believe that snake people and mole people or
No, mole people.
Oh yeah, mole people.
No, that woman, very big like deciding factor. Yes, that woman was true. Like mole people exist. I've seen them in person.
she came from the ground?
So wait.
She didn't have to. I can see it.
Did she tell you she came from the ground? Brown says. Okay, so my question is, I'm like, why do you have such bad taste in women? Like, let's get away from these moles.
So this goes back to my daddy issues. You know, I had a terrible dad, and
I'm totally telling him you said that.
You don't even know who my dad is.
He doesn't even know who.
Yeah,
his
neither
dad
do
is.
I.
Okay, that's another episode, people.
Yeah.
Kyle's life.
The cryptid Kyle's dad.
We're skipping over that.
Before I move, you have to do that.
Kyle's dad is a cryptid. We should do an episode of My Father, Papa Gant. He's Bigfoot in hiding. I truly 100% wholeheartedly believe my father is Bigfoot. That's why you can't find him, because he's living in my house.
Bigfoot's in my house and he won't leave.
Yeah, my dad doesn't shave. He is Bigfoot.
Oh my God. So like when I was standing next to your dad, I literally came up to his elbow.
Yeah, my dad is 6'7". He is a lumberjack.
He's like 400
He's a woodworker. He literally, when you think, okay, the mental picture of Paul Bunyan, when you think of Paul Bunyan, you're thinking of my father.
You always say that. Oh my God.
Do you think your father sprouted up from Agartha?
No, he has grandparents, so therefore it's not possible.
My dad is literally a character from Norse mythology. Like my dad is one of the people that Thor fought. I swear.
Dude, you didn't answer the question.
We're not talking about that.
I don't believe he came from the earth.
When he came from under a rock.
No, I can't. I lived under. No, that's me. I lived under a rock.
Is it more like
No,
a super
AJ, I totally thought of that, but I'm just saying, like, what's his point?
Father's a Martian.
I don't know where my dad came from.
Where was he born? Allegedly.
Your dad doesn't listen.
My dad was allegedly born in Seattle.
He doesn't listen, right?
Your dad does not look like a guy born in Seattle.
Wait, Bigfoot's from like the
Washington area.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is an episode. This is a whole episode on its own.
Your father is
just
Bigfoot.
father.
When you guys have like a Patreon and do like a bonus
Brown's
episode,
father
he's
is
like a bonus
confirmed as
episode.
Bigfoot.
I'll call in. I'll call in. Like just talk.
Yeah, you're literally gonna be my
Back
photo
in
friend.
Texas, yeah. It's just gonna be our father's episode.
Oh, okay, let's move on.
All right, yeah.
If you guys have any
a
like
little sidetrack.
that was funny, but like let's get real here.
Okay, what do you? Okay,
Let's get unreal here because I don't believe any of this.
so okay, what do you think? Are you open to the possibility of the Earth being at least semi-hollow, like being large caverns?
I'm gonna have to say I don't know, but I think this this whole story and idea is fascinating.
I do too. Yeah, AJ?
I just want to say, I have played Astroneer, so that's all I
There are
gotta say.
large caverns, though.
I did say
there's different
play.
planets.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
And at the center, okay,
Thanks so
in
much for
Astroneer, at the
explaining, AJ.
center of the planet, there is hollow, and there's an alien device that you can use to travel to other planets, which are also hollow at the center. AGARTHA!
Bryce is freaking out right now as he's remembering video games.
Skips
He's slowly spazzing out over there.
Mushrooms are kicking in, and
The heroin's kicking in.
the math, and the hollow Earth, and the.
Well, do you have any opinions on what you've heard from either of us?
I think her opinion is she doesn't want us in her house anymore. We're not welcome in her home.
Well, but you have a notepad, so you just writing down notes. Or are you writing down your thoughts?
She's cooking the silent alarm. She's calling the police
all the
as we
above.
speak.
All the
all of the above.
Yeah.
You want to
'cause-
tell us some of that?
Well, no, because like the AGARTHA.
We're having for dinner on there.
It's just a grocery list.
Yeah, totally. I thought you guys wanted pasta. Okay. So yeah, no. So it's legendary kingdom that has been said to be located in the Earth's core, hollow Earth. So that was my focus, and I think that you guys have done a great way of like trying to explain to other people that have no idea what that even means.
Yeah. So I would say I've only gone over maybe 10% of the total information on AGARTHA, Hollow Earth, and everyone's beliefs around it. Oh my God, there's so much to this subject. I just went over a lot of the big points and the major key players.
Yeah,
a lot of it's pretty
that's
boring.
all that I was asking. Major points, basic issues, just like how people feel one way or another.
Honestly, there was like I wish I could have gone in depth about Men in Black because there was this much information about that. However, I just didn't do. I was lazy. I didn't do that much research. But this one, I really enjoyed researching this one, and there's so much information. I couldn't go over this if I had like 3 hours. But yeah, This is such an interesting topic to me, and I feel like even
That's
though
because you're a freak.
what I love about this is how
Freak show.
how devout the followers are to this, even though literally nobody has been there. Nobody has any evidence that proves that this is real. Aside
Wait
from
a second. You said you've been there. You big fat liar.
until I came around. No one's been there.
Wait. What if?
I astro projected my soul down there, and I met the AGARTHA.
Oh, are you Hindu?
Yeah. I'm Hebrew.
So
I'm gonna get fired.
you say that people have never come back from there. What if?
People have never even been there.
No. What if?
Oh my God, is it like Chester Copperpot?
Who?
Oh yeah,
The dude from the Goonies?
Yeah.
He just never came back.
Yeah. What if you just never? There's people that never came back. They never told anyone that they were going.
They
They never came back.
They died in the caves.
They died in the
They died in
cave.
the caves.
They came those crystal meth babies?
You ever seen, was it 247 hours or something like that? No, movie where the guy gets his arm smashed in the rock and cuts it.
Oh, yeah.
That happened to them. That was what happened. They got smashed by a rock. Or the rock, like in Indiana Jones, where the rock, falls down. It's like
They went
blocks
those
their
crystal
path.
meth babies that you were talking about?
No, they are the crystal babies. That's why they went.
No,
They're high in meth their whole life.
honestly, if the Earth was hollow and there was these massive caverns that sustain life, I feel like it might be possible that you just can't get out of them. Like maybe you fell into a hole and you couldn't get out. Just like in Journey to the Center of the Earth.
designed that
Well,
you
then you
can't
need
come
life.
back.
You-
Journey to the
lifeline.
Center of the Earth, they got lucky. Remember, there's a volcano that launched them out.
absolutely. So my point is, you're not designed to come back.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
So, like AJ brought up a good point. Maybe there are people who went down there and are stuck down there, and maybe there are like civilizations down there who like journey.
Totally going into Atlantis mode right now.
Because I believe like during like the Ice Age or something, ancient like cavemen, tribal peoples might have migrated in there because it was warm. The deeper into the earth you go, the warmer you get. And maybe,
the same people who migrated to North America.
Exactly. They could have gone down into the earth to find refuge, and they just could have found this oasis down there and never came back.
Well, and then that sparks the thing. If they're different people, that's evolution.
Oh, they've evolved.
Agarthans are the evolved human.
Yeah, they are. They've evolved.
Did they evolve from the snake people and the ant people?
No, they've evolved into the snake people and the ant people.
Oh, well, that's not an evolution.
The mole people, they're just moles.
That's mutation.
That wouldn't make sense. Well, that's all evolution is. If people did evolve, it would only make sense that subterranean people would evolve into subterranean type creatures like snakes and ants and moles.
So lighter pigment of skin. The eyes,
blindness.
You don't need eyes because
unless there's bioluminescence, but you would need less eyes. Your ears,
you need less eyes.
They would have superhuman hearing because the echoes in caves you could hear for miles and miles. They would have insane hearing,
like the things from A Quiet Place.
Yeah, the things from A Quiet Place.
Yeah, totally.
And they would have like moles. Like moles, they would probably be.
Good point, man. Good point.
Yeah, they're Garthans. Anyway, no, but if there are people who migrated down there and who are still living there today, they have evolved to the point to where they're not human anymore. They are a different species of human.
They're a different breed.
Because they would have traveled over during like the Neanderthal days. They are built different.
Okay. All right. So let's leave it at that.
Okay.
And tell us where you learned all this stuff. All your resources.
I would like to thank Wikipedia, but mostly the Time Suck podcast. That's where I did most of my research. Got most of my information from. He does a great job with his podcast, and I'd recommend anyone go listen to it. He has a team of researchers, and they scour the internet and all over. And they do a good job with their episodes, and they get a lot of middle of nowhere information that just like I don't see why it's relevant. They had a lot of good.
I don't see why it's relevant, but yet.
Yeah. There's so much go listen to it if you want more information on the subject. It's a lot, and that's where I got most of my information from. So yeah.
Well, thank you to our special guests.
Would you like to thank anyone, Kyle?
No. No. Time Suck too. I listened to that special podcast that gave me a little bit more insight before I even talked about it, so I knew somewhat what I was talking about.
Oh, that's cool.
He has a really beautiful wife. Please marry me.
Sounds like she's already married, so calm down.
Hey.
Calm down.
She's Polish, though.
Oh, God, you're right.
Oh, my God. Okay, you guys. Okay, stop. Okay, thanks to my special guest. AJ, can you chime in real quick?
Polygamy.
All right, we're getting way off track.
Anyways, let's not get off
me.
track. You guys, thank you guys for being
The Mormons
such funny
were right.
guests.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you for having us. It was very awesome. It's the 50th episode. I can't.
You think the Mormons are?
Shut up, AJ. Okay, I really appreciate you having us on. I can't believe we've made it to
Why
50
didn't you chime in
episodes
earlier,
already.
kid? You should have chimed in just a touch earlier.
Mormons are Agarthan. That's it.
I already said that. Anyways, okay. So, calmate. So, okay, let's, thank you, Brown. James Bryce Gant, who I
Don't tell them
lovingly
my first
call
name.
Brown.
I don't want them to know
James,
that.
what's up, James?
No.
Kyle Brumley, who I call lovingly Black.
Woo.
And then, of course, my little buddy, AJ.
I'm her son, actually. So.
That's what.
You're not my little buddy? Okay. My favorite co-host, AJ Knorr.
Yeah. I'm on all the conspiracy corners, so.
That's right. You know the voice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so don't do it.
I also made the themes, so you're welcome.
Yeah.
We're getting so off track.
Just so you guys, if you listen, if you don't listen, thank you if you do. This has been like a whirlwind year for us.
Yeah. I remember when we started. I
So weird.
remember when
didn't
y'all
even
started
ask you
this podcast.
I didn't even ask you to chime in.
I didn't ask.
Okay, I'll leave.
So no, go ahead and say it.
I just can't believe it's been a year. I remember you guys you told me about this idea of starting
We
a
didn't
podcast.
come to you.
You did. AJ did at least. He's like, I'm starting a podcast.
We did for the
Your
logo.
voice just
Yeah,
cracked.
and you did for the logo. You said, "Hey, they signed me a logo."
Yeah, but
and,
you always make it seem like
and we
you
sat
did
down
it.
together.
We all did it together.
We sat down together and designed a logo. Primarily me. And
It's because you had the computer.
and we did that Black Choppers episode. What a banger. So it was so awesome. I cannot believe it's been 40 episodes since then.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you so much again. And don't interrupt me again. This is my podcast now. Shut up.
Okay.
All right.
I got you.
Done. AJ, call it a day. Let's do this.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Thanks so much for listening. I am Rachel Velis, and this is the podcast, Hell is Not the End.